Okay, we're back and we're dealing with part two of our notes receivable section. So we dealt with notes receivable in the beginning and we were finding the maturity of the note receivable. We noticed I made a mistake in two places. The first place was with my dates. You got to know which months have 30 days and which ones have 31st. Remember, Brian told us, hey, start on your knuckles, right? Your knuckles are January 31. The little section in between is 30. Knuckles are 31s, in betweens are 30s, and when you get to the end, you have to double up on the knuckles, and that's how you figure that out. So use that to help. In addition, I made the mistake with it was the date, and I went to a third as opposed to rounding up to the whole number. I used the 33.3, got 198. They wanted $200. So that's something to be cognizant about too. All right, so we're going to part two. Let's just pull that up real quick. Limited amount of time. So I'm going to fly. You can always rewind and watch this stuff again. That looks like my cheat sheet to help me get to information quickly that confuses me. Okay, so let's get back to the assignment. Here we go. 14-3. Part two is journalize the transactions. They give us a couple of transactions. We're going to actually write the note. So again, what is a note receivable? So you have accounts receivable, people who owe you money, right? They bought some materials on account and they owe it to you. They get to the point and say, hey, look, I know I owe you all this amount. So how about you just extend me a note? I'll pay interest on that amount and then I'll just pay that to you. So take it out of my account and just put it as an IOU, a big old loan, and I'll pay you that with some interest on it. So that's what a note does as opposed to the accounts receivable. Usually on an accounts receivable, if somebody will pay you back quickly, you'll give them a discount. Remember that 210 net 30 stuff where you give a 2% discount if they pay you in 10 days? Well, in this case, we're talking about somebody who's not paying you in 10 days, so they're going to pay you extra just so you don't hurt their credit. So let's get started. First date is July 5th. Accepted the 90-day note. So notice if we're just accepting the note, that's not going into the cash receipts journal. It's a general journal entry. If they gave us cash, if we received cash, like on July 12th, well then that's where we're going to actually go to the cash receipt. So let's go to our general journal. General journal, it's July 5th, first day of the month. So we're going to put in July. I just want July and then the 5th. We're creating a notes receivable, right? Notes receivable. And I wonder if we have to put the name in. We don't. We just call it a notes receivable. Great. Notes receivable, and it's coming from Gary Kinney for an extension of time for his account. So he's writing a note to get an extended time, and we're going to charge him for that with some interest. So it's accounts receivable. Remember, it's always two accounts, and his name was Gary Kinney. All right, so what document lets us know all this? It's notes receivable number 5. That is the document. It's the actual note receivable number 5. Good, note number 5. And how much is this note going to be written for? $1,800. That's the note. That's it. That's all you have to do for notes receivable. It's just that easy. So let's say somebody pays off their note. They're like, hey, I owed you this money. Here's the payment. So here's the information again. Received cash from Mary James for maturity value of note receivable 1, a 60-day note with 9% note interest for that $500. So let's go put that in. We received cash. So which journal are we going to put it in? Exactly, the cash receipts journal. Let's go to the cash receipts journal on the 12th. Here it is, July 12th. So we're going to put in our July. Date is the 12th. Who are we receiving this money from? Mary James. Let's put her name down. Mary. Oh, it's accounts. It's notes receivable. Mary. No Mary? Man, let me check my cheat sheet. I would have thought, yeah, because it's just the notes receivable. That is it. It's notes receivable number 5. So let's put the document down. What's the document going to be? Document is going to be that receipt number, R113. R113. Good. It's not an accounts receivable, so it's got to go in the general debit column. General debit for how much? It's $500, right? No receivable, $500. Put $500 in here. So here's $500, and that's how much cash we received. Seems simple enough, right? That makes sense. Everything makes sense to you. Note receivable 500, note receivable 500, good. But there's another piece to this. Also on this date, on the 12th, we received some interest income. We didn't give her that money for free. She has to pay for that. Same document numbers, receipt 113. And you know what? Let me make sure if we have to put that date in there twice. So we're going to go to our cash payments entry. There it is. Oh, since they only used the date once, they only used that one document once, but they do put the interest income on its own line because it's different. There's the whole amount up, and they only use one cash debit amount, so I did that wrong too. So we need to put that interest on there. What is the interest? Let's go back and find that out. Let me minimize this. All right, so I don't need my date again because this is all one entry, just 2 lines for the interest income. I don't need to put that in there again. And so this won't just be 500. Let's find out what our interest is. So they had a payment of, let me get me out the way here. Put that down there in the corner. We had a payment of $500 at 9% interest over 60 days. The 60 days out of, so it's 500 times 0.09. If that was for a year, but it wasn't for a year. It was only for 60 days of the 360. So 60 divided by 360 is 1/6. So we're going to divide that by 6. $7.50. So there was another $7.50 on top of that. Let's put $7.50. It's our interest. So we get paid $507.50. All right, see how we did that? Found the interest. All right, so that's in there. Let's go back up. We did the 5th. We did the 12th. Let's do the 26. There was a dishonored notes receivable, a 90-day, 90% note interest for $400. So when we have a dishonored note receivable, they still owe us that money. And since it's no longer a note, we're going to put all that money back into the accounts receivable. So let's go to the date first. What's the date on this? The date is the 26th. So we got to put it into the accounts receivable. Who is this that owes us all this money now? Dennis Kraft. What document told us this? It was Memorandum 25. And in addition, we need some interest, or we're going to lose some interest income. We got a notes receivable, and we got some interest income that they owe us now. We went through this process. You still got to pay us this amount. And what are the amounts? Let's go back and find it out. So the total on this was $400. So the notes receivable is for $400, right? The interest income on $400 on a 90-day note, 90 over 360 was 90 divided by 360. Yeah, that's the 25, right? And so 400 times the 0.09 times the 0.25 gets us that amount. So we'll times that times the 400 and multiply that times the 0.09 because that was the interest rate. I mean, $9. So interest income would have been $9 on that. So they owed us a total of $409. So that's all that information. That's our cash receipts. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Any questions? No? Let's find out if we're perfect. This time, I'm guaranteeing a perfect. Great, step 2. Let's see. Come on, give it to me. Let's see what we got. Good. Why is the N5 wrong? And the R5, man. That's just so what? Oh my God. How did I do that wrong? Hey, because we're receiving cash. You guys sat there and you let me put that in the debit section when you know It was a credit for their account. We got the debit. It's cash receipts. We're receiving money. You can't have debits and debits. It's just so wrong. Oh, so disappointing. Hope you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. But hey, that's how you learn. You make mistakes. Part of growth mindset, right? Mistakes are a part of the process. We're getting better. I think I'm going to pause it here and then give you a part 3 later. So that's part 2. Any questions, send me an email.